All right, Tesla update here on the 18th. Actually, market update. Sorry, I've been away for a while. I didn't do an update on Friday over the weekend. I've been moving a little bit, traveling a little bit, and haven't had a chance. Didn't even really look at the market until I looked at it on Friday, and then this morning was the first time I looked at charts over the weekend. So on Tesla, going back to this move right here, we made a second wave, third wave, fourth wave right here. We basically hit the outside of this parallel line right here. So I would say 9 times out of 10, this is the start of the fifth wave higher. Because if we come back down, we're going to be taking longer than expected. So my current count is actually 1, 2, 1, 2, and then this is potentially the end of the third wave right here actually. So maybe something like that for the third wave of the third wave. And then I would be looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the end of the third wave, and then be looking for one more move higher after that to get to our 400 number. So I think Tesla has a lot more upside. I think QQQ has a lot more upside as well. And yeah, I think they might be shaking people out. The invalidation though, let's say we do come down and this is not the end of the fourth wave right here, then this would just be a B wave, and I would expect, let's say it invalidates, then I would expect it to come down a little bit lower, maybe to 300. If it comes down to 300, that is your put support right here. You have put support at 300. If it comes down there, that would be the end of the fourth wave. Then it would go up after that. So we'll see which one works out, but it looks to me like with this move from 320 all the way to 347, if it comes all the way back to 300, that'd be really weird. So I think this has got to be the breakout here, because that would be a over 10% drop. So I don't think that's going to happen, but we will find out. Looks like it's already started to move higher. QQQ, I didn't do an update on Friday, but this hit exactly where I wanted it to hit actually. Well, we didn't know that this was going to fall back until Friday when that ridiculous move happened. But what I think this is ABCW, ABCX, and I think we are also in another ABC move here. So A, B, C, probably going to like 528 into the end of the year. And so this move today is just wave 1, and it could go all the way up here to 507. This could easily, maybe it waits till NVIDIA earnings, which is on Wednesday. That's kind of a long time. I'm looking for 507 potentially for wave 1. If it falls back down here straight from here, the 492 gap fill will still be in play, but it would also break this parallel line that held from the bottom here. So again, I think this is the first wave of the final move up here to 528. I think there's going to be a pretty big fall after January into like March, April. The GEX levels are around 520 for December, but then in March, they are all the way down at like 465, 470-ish. So I do think we're going to see something back down here into March like that, basically. So I'm looking for higher on QQQ, higher on Tesla as it falls. It's fallen a lot for this being a fourth wave though, so watch out for that invalidation at 324. Mara, this stock is invalidation central, just completely invalidates every move. I feel like it's just kind of like you get this move up here from 15 all the way up to 26, and then it comes right back down to 19. It was overextended on the standard deviation, so it does make sense for it to come back. But Bitcoin didn't really fall. Where's Bitcoin right now? So this is just a random stock in my opinion at this point. Like technical analysis, like just you're kind of guessing at this point with these corrective moves. It's in a daily demand zone here. I have $30 on the GEX for December 20th, which is substantial. Nice move up. Could be a 50% move up in the next month. But it could also just retrace here and then end up coming down here to 12 bucks. And this could just be another one of these moves. Same pattern as right here. It's the exact same pattern. You know, it's the same pattern here. So Mara, I think I'm bullish from right here. I don't want to see it break 1825. I want to see it bounce out of here. It bounced this morning, and now for whatever reason, it's pulling back here. It looks like it might be a wave 2 or it's got to be a wave 2 here. But let me give you an invalidation level. This stock's absolutely the dumbest stock I've ever followed. So let's go ahead and give out invalidation here. 1892 is the invalidation level. So don't be surprised if it just goes like this and invalidates it again. It's quite the frustrating stock. I'm sure that's why if you go on any message board, everyone is just going crazy because these stocks don't make any sense. Why would this drop $6 when Bitcoin's still at the highs? Doesn't make any sense. Let's go to HIMS, a more reasonable stock here. This stock hit into demand, held the weekly 20 DMA, or weekly 20 moving average, and I'm looking for a retrace. It already started that today. This could potentially rise all the way back up here to 27 and fill the gap into the end of the year, but I think there's still more downside. I think this can go all the way down, maybe into the spring. If you look at this right here, this started on June 18th all the way till November, get this out of the way, November 12th. That's 5 months. I would expect normally 2.5 months down, which takes us to like February. So I won't be surprised if you see something like this over the next couple of months to finish off this pattern. I'm long-term bullish on this stock though, despite that Amazon news, but I only have sold puts on it right now, and those are basically back to green now because I sold them at like 21, 22 bucks, right around in here, and it came all the way down here. I was down, and now I'm back up because of this bounce. So HIMS, look for a bounce over the next couple of weeks to a month, I think. Symbiotic has earnings today. It's about a $6 move. So you're looking at 36.37 or around 24.25. I do think that it's probably completed this move up. Looks to me like 5 waves up, and it looks like a first wave down. So, not a first wave down. This is more than likely like an A wave or some kind of retracement. I'm looking for a retracement back to potentially fill this gap here at like 23 bucks. And that's actually where the expected move is at, right around 24, 25 bucks. That is the next daily demand zone down here. 36 bucks would just take it back into this supply zone that it just got rejected out of. So I would still be bearish, I think, if it goes 36 bucks. Then again, it is earnings, so we'll see how it goes. And if you look at this on the long term, this is very overextended to the downside, and we barely just started this. It's a great setup for long. It's a good long setup, basically. So even if they come down here after earnings, it would be a good buy the dip situation around like 24, 25 bucks. Tesla is really falling here. Watch out. I guess this could be a C wave. Let's go over. Uber's falling. I'm not going to go over that. IONQ really made a move up over the last couple of weeks. It basically already hit the top of this parallel line here. So I would be very careful here. It's very overextended. It's down on the day. I was looking to sell puts on it, but I don't think so. It's still too overextended. I don't want to risk the downside. And you never know, going into the end of the year, it might come up here farther if the market rises, which I think is going to happen. It could come all the way up here to the parallel line here around 37 bucks for either a C wave or a wave 3. Wave 3 is going to have to break the parallel line though. This could just be, get rid of this, could just be A, B, C, and then come back down here whenever the market pulls back. I'd be very careful with this. It's a very good, maybe a good stock long term, but I know they don't have that much revenue right now. They have some contracts, but it's very overextended to the upside. So be careful with that. The first spot that I'd be looking at to potentially buy if it dips be down here at 15 to 17 bucks for a dip, somewhere around in that area. Coin, it's up pretty big now. Let's take a look at it. Well, from the bottom it is 274 all the way to 314. It looks like it could have already started that final move up. If it has, it's a nested move. So 1, 2, not the final move up, the final move of the third wave. Then this would end up being third wave right there, fourth, fifth. Either that or it comes back down. I thought Bitcoin had a little bit more downside because it has not put in a red candle on the daily time frame for a fourth wave. See here, has not put in a red candle. So I'm still looking for that. So watch out for coin. It could be in a B wave as well. If it does that, looking for something down here into daily demand around 250, 270, and then you go up for the fifth wave. So it's not a bad long here, I don't think, but I'd be careful it doesn't fall back down here. Nvidia, I bought the dip today at 137, still holding, not touching it. The GEX levels for the end of this week are 150. I'm bullish into earnings. I think it can at least hit 145. The only thing that's bearish on this chart is that the 50 is down here at 131 and you're below the 20. So I would love to see it regain the 20 and come up here and fill this gap. But the let's look at the levels. Actually, I have it right here. So you have call resistance at 150, put support at 135. That's why I bought the dip right here. I only had $2 risk. It could have gone to 131. Okay, whatever. I could average into it. It's bouncing right now. It's still below 140, but you can see the upside is way better than the downside. The only negative about this is that it has negative GEX for this week, but still it's got a lot of call options around, or not calls, a lot of GEX level around 150. So watch for 150 after earnings potentially, but at least this gap fill up into supply at 146, and it's in a demand zone. I think it's a 3-day demand zone right here. From there, we'll see what happens. I'm not like extremely bullish on Nvidia like some people. Some people are saying it's going to go to like $200 or $300. From what I see on the GEX levels, it's right around 150 for like the next couple of months. So it's not a stock that I'm really trying to play long term. I'd probably sell if it goes up here to 150. Trump stock. Let's look at SMCI actually first. I already have it drawn up here. I think this can go to 30 by the end of next week. Pull back, and then I'm looking for something higher after that. The GEX levels are 25 for this week, 30 for the next week, and then it falls off again. So you could be looking at something like this and then back down to 20 bucks after it hits 30. So short term bullish over the next 9 trading days. And then after that, it's going to fall off more than likely and then shoot up again. AMD, nice bounce. The dollar is super strong here. But again, I've said this for a while. It's getting up there. It could be close to finishing this move. And then we're looking for that final melt up or meltdown here in the dollar and the melt up in the market. So anything else I want to go over right now that I've been looking at? Let's look at Meta real quick. I'm curious what's going on. So Meta, I made a video on Friday. I didn't put it out though. I think that I messed it up or something happened. So I've had this right here, 545 highlighted. I still want to see that hit. That's daily demand there, and I'd be thinking about buying there. So look for 545 to cross potentially before this is a buy, and then I'm buying all day because I think this is going to go higher from there. I think this can go like that. So 545 is a buy on Meta. So you can see that I'm pretty much saying that the next month is probably going to be super bullish. And then January will probably be like down and then back up into OPEX. And then after that, once you hit like late January, early February, that's when you're going to want to be extremely cautious because we hit 520, 530 on QQQ. Then I think this can come all the way down here to like 465. And there's significant GEX down at 465. The levels are very high, like way more than the 520 level in December. It's significant puts down there in negative GEX. So I definitely think that this is going to happen in March, April. So be careful after that. That's it for this video. Let's see what happens. I'll do an update later and maybe go into some more stocks.